What's that? It's the video yearbook. Yeah, hey, Link, keep it here. Let's watch this. Keep it here.
Gee, I really miss them.
I forgot what a great time we had.
Gosh, I can't believe we did that.
The 1992-93 school year became a time for breaking traditions at Johnson Central High School.
In everything from academics to athletics to student life, it was a time for breaking traditions.
The home of the Eagles, a place for learning, experiencing, and this year for breaking old traditions and establishing new ones that will be remembered through the 90s and forever.
Give me one word to describe the JCHS hallways between classes.
Crowded.
The 5 minutes allotted to commute from class to class is rarely enough time to get a quick drink, talk to all your friends, and maneuver through the sea of hurried bodies in order to make it on time.
With the addition of tech prep and advanced placement English and chemistry courses, academic prestige at Johnson Central has moved to new heights
that earlier Eagles weren't able to soar to.
Students throughout the curriculum are working cooperatively to prepare themselves for the future.
If you were stranded on a desert island and you could have two people with you, who would they be?
Sandy Crawford and Cam Basker.
Angie, if Santa Claus could give you anything that you wanted for Christmas, what would it be?
Well, I'd have to say a brand new car and a boyfriend that can act right.
Well, the funniest thing I saw this year is when Courtney fell out of the car in the plaza. She tripped over her seatbelt and fell on her face.
How about those pep rallies?
Hey, don't you mean assemblies?
They never failed to instill that Golden Eagle spirit in each and every one of us.
Our fans, cheerleaders, and band always rooted for the Eagles with uncommon enthusiasm.
We were all behind the team regardless of circumstance or outcome.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you at Johnson Central that you can remember best?
Missing the layup in the Paintsville game last year.
Well, it would have to be when I was walking from my class during lunch, and I tripped over the doorstop in front of the library.
Chris, what will you always remember about your junior year here at Johnson Central?
Missing that 8-point buck.
Who are the real Hanks here at Johnson Central High School?
Well, in my opinion, there are none.
In his first season with the Eagles, head coach Bill Music directed Eagle football into a new era. The team struggled to a winless season this year, while the talent of the future gained experience. not to mention the admiration of the varsity cheerleaders.
The boys and girls golf team enjoyed another successful year with coaches Kathy and Nelson Gullett. Both squads performed competitively at the regional level, with each receiving a top-notch individual performance.
For the boys, Jason Crum turned in a 5th place finish at the regionals, narrowly missing state qualification. Freshman Rachel Hazlett carried on a central tradition by winning the girls' regional title and competing with the state's other top golfers at the 1992 state tournament. Fall, when the routine of the school day has been adjusted to and the excitement begins.
Numerous diversions filled our calendar.
Football games, club functions, and homecoming festivities proved once again that Central High is not all work and no play. Homecoming, a remembrance of our past in the setting of our present.
Although the game, the beautiful young ladies, the decorations, and the dance are often the things we associate most with homecoming, it is a symbol of a meaningful tradition.
Melissa Stapleton was crowned by student council members as this year's queen, along with her court Winnie Hammonds, Nikki Music, Kelly Strobel, and Stacy Meade.
A picture paints 1,000 words, and we know our 1992 homecoming dance was a special night by the electricity in the air.
Lori, what's your favorite thing you're looking forward to next year, your senior year?
Graduation, because we're done.
What's the best thing that's ever happened to you at Johnson Central High School? Well, the best thing? Maybe it's when I got hit in the nose and got out of school 3 days in a row.
If you were stranded on a desert island and you could have one person in the world to be there with you, who would it be?
John Claude Van Damme.
The Johnson Central Marching Band, under the direction of Brad Daniels and Field Commander Tamara Brown, received 2 superior ratings this year at Hazard and Pulaski County.
They showed a lot of talent performing at the state competition for the 5th time in the last 6 years.
The band also showcased their talents at football games, playing songs like Georgia, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Robin Hood, and Terminator 2.
Live from Johnson Central, eat your heart out, Garth Brooks.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair. The last one to know, the last one to show. I was the last one you thought you'd see there.
Saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes
When I took his glass of champagne, I toasted you, said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain.
Hey, I didn't mean to cause a big scene. Just give me an hour and then I'll be as high as the ivory tower.
Vocational education took a new turn at Johnson Central this year.
Now, students can take vocational classes and receive a tech prep diploma.
Students can take a variety of classes like business education, health services, home economics, marketing, and technology.
The glamour of Hollywood comes to Johnson Central High School.
I don't need any more accidents in my life.
What have you done? I don't need any more accidents in my life.
What have you done? I don't need any more accidents in my life.
2 new academic programs came to Johnson Central this year.
The AP and Tech Prep programs gave our students a chance to break traditions in education.
If you won the lottery, what would be the first thing you buy or do? I'd buy a red Lamborghini Diablo and drive out to Beverly Hills.
And I'm here to ask Chris Bowen, if he was anybody in the world, who would he be?
I'd like to be Richard Gere because he's married to Cindy Crawford.
Kathy, if you won the lottery today, what would be the first thing you'd buy?
A red turbo Dodge Stealth. The PTSA Talent Show provided an opportunity for students and faculty members alike to exhibit their hidden talents.
What is your most embarrassing moment at Johnson Central?
When we all laid out and at Pickle Fork and Mr. Trimble chased me off the cliff and I had to come to school wet, soaking wet.
My most embarrassing moment was when I was a freshman and into the school and I was walking up the steps and I fell down the steps.
And Tanya, yours?
Mine was my sophomore year during driver's ed class when I fell on my seat and everybody laughed.
There you go.
Global warming, the environment, and taking care of good old Mother Earth was a trend we continued in 92-93. Hollywood thrilled us with blockbusters like Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven, which won Best Picture of the Year, and box office attractions like Scent of a Woman starring Al Pacino, who won Best Actor. Cheers said its farewell while the Fox network continued to woo younger audiences with programs like Beverly Hills 90210, In Living Color, Martin, and Melrose Place. On the popular music scene, fans were delighted with a smorgasbord of formats ranging from R&B to hip-hop, hard rock to heavy metal, and country crossover.
The faces of JCHS.
Certainly a diverse and unique representation of the student body.
This is the time, this is your life. The push and the pull, we give and we take, we rise and we fall, we bend and we break. The future is ours, the promise is true, this is your life.
I guess of all my uncles, I liked Uncle Caveman the best. We called him Uncle Caveman because he lived in a cave and because sometimes he'd eat one of us. Later on, we found out he was a bear.
Take it to the limit. Live it to the
No matter what the time of year, the Johnson Central School Day is focused on education, but nevertheless filled with fun.
wants you. So keep on driving higher and never slow down. A silver sensation that sends you around. Everybody needs somebody else, 'cause we all need to get a little bit of some pleasure. And everybody wants somebody else, 'cause we all need to get a little bit of some pleasure. And take it to the limit and live it to the full. And everybody's gotta get some, and everybody wants you. So keep on driving higher and never slow down.
In Larry Sturgill's debut season as boys basketball coach, a fledgling Golden Eagle squad honed their skills in preparation for the future.
Everybody needs somebody else, 'cause we all need to get a little bit of some pleasure. And everybody wants somebody.
The girls' basketball program continued a tradition of success under second-year coach Philip Wireman. The Lady Eagles won the 15th region title and earned the right to compete in the Sweet 16 behind the leadership of seniors Samantha Blevins, Amy Castle, Tanya Lewis, and Jennifer Oakes.
In addition to cheering on the girls' basketball team, the girls' varsity cheerleaders made their second straight trip to state competition as this year's 15th region champs.
The Eagle wrestlers once again proved their status as a top-notch program, placing Jeff Adams and Kevin Rice in the state tournament.
'Cause we all need to get a little bit of some pleasure. And everybody wants somebody else. 'Cause we all need to get.
And in only their second season, the JCHS swim team established themselves as a competitive program. Colleen Murphy performed especially well, placing 7th in the state in the breaststroke. To celebrate the arrival of another spring, we relive the days of old at the fabulous 50s Coming Home Dance.
Jimmy, what did it feel like to be named king?
Well, Nicole, I must tell you, it was a great honor
and it's just very exciting, and oh, I'm just so emotional now. I can't stand to talk.
If Santa Claus could bring you anything in the world, what would it be?
I would want him to bring my little brown cow back.
I'd want Santa Claus to bring me a Bugs Bunny toboggan.
One look in the eyes can reveal much about a person's inner self.
From labs to term papers to final exams. Classwork, however important, often seem like an endless task.
Misty, what would you say is our best class from our junior year?
Probably pre-calculus under Miss Wells.
Why? She's a trick buster.
Oh, yeah. Holly, what's your favorite class this year?
My favorite class is fourth period band class because everyone in there is demented.
Jason Crumb, yes. I'm here to ask you what your favorite class is.
All right, go ahead.
What is your favorite class?
Journalism.
Lunchtime at Johnson Central was not only a time for us to consume the nutritional value of a midday meal,
but don't forget, Herb, it was also an opportunity to socialize, cram for an upcoming test, or just kick back and take it easy.
Many students consider their car a necessity rather than a luxury.
after all, you'd look kind of stupid cruising in your brand new Reebok pumps.
What's difficult about high school being a freshman?
How difficult and hard the classes were, and it's a bigger school with all more people, and you hardly know your way around.
What's one thing you'd like to forget about being a freshman?
Being a freshman.
What's one thing you'd like to forget about your freshman year?
Falling on my butt doing gymnastics during the homecoming football game.
Football season.
What are some of the things you'd like to remember while you was a freshman?
Well, the two things that I remember, that I always remember, is the trip to Cancun and the play Little Luncheonette of Terror.
My freshman year is over. What's the worst thing about being a freshman? Definitely just being a freshman.
In the world of sports, the Toronto Blue Jays took professional baseball's top prize by beating the Atlanta Braves in the World Series. The Dallas Cowboys reclaimed their past glory by trouncing the Buffalo Bills in Super Bowl 27. The NCAA men's basketball crown went to the Tar Heels of North Carolina as they squeaked out a win over Michigan in the final game. In basketball's professional ranks, the Chicago Bulls made it a three-peat by defeating the Phoenix Suns. And the Montreal Canadiens captured the National Hockey League Stanley Cup.
Rock and roll is here to stay. We don't care what people say. Rock and roll is here to stay. Come on, baby. It drives me crazy. It's just great balls of fire. Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. He's a clown. I like Charlie Brown. I wonder. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock.
Regina, if you could change yourself to anybody in the world, who would it be and why?
J.P. Dell, because everybody loves him and he's the craziest guy I know. Who do you hang around with here at Johnson Central? Tanya Picklesheimer, Donna Castle, Stacy Fife, and Elaine Castle.
My favorite song is November Rain by Guns N' Roses, and I really like the video. My favorite song is I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston because I love the movie.
The student body, as well as the general public, enjoyed the experience of thrills and chills in the drama department production of Little Luncheonette of Terror.
It's useless. The phone is no good.
I know. I tried it.
here somewhere. When I find him, I'm gonna let him watch while you clean out the cash register. Teach him a lesson, kid. Oh no, it's a pretty lady.
I could never love something like you.
Is it my appearance?
Hey, little girl, would you walk with me?
I'm Dr. Judd, Nuclear Research Center. You mean that big place down the road with the big windows and the sign that says no?
The academic team completed another successful season in which they made their TV debut on KET's High Q.
What's the one thing you'll remember most about your sophomore year?
Well, I thought my sophomore year was pretty boring and dull.
What's the hardest teacher that you had your sophomore year?
Say it, sir.
Mr. Rouse, what do you look forward to most about being a junior?
Driving, man. Driving.
Not being underclassmen anymore.
If you were Mr. Butcher for a day, what would be the first thing that you would do?
Go on a diet.
What was the best thing that happened your sophomore year?
When Miss Jones had her baby.
Rhonda, what was the most embarrassing moment about your sophomore year?
Well, it would most definitely be when I ran over the pole in the student parking lot.
Rod, what was most memorable about your sophomore year?
I guess it'd just have to be Kelly and Rhonda.
The JCHS baseball team, despite the absence of a senior member, posted its best ever regular season record at 22-5.
The Eagle track team enjoyed success this season as two girls team members, Bernita Wells and Maria Lewis, qualified for the state meet.
And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Sponsor.
Down the hall, through the lobby, off the bleachers, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Off the football stadium, through Mrs. Wells's room, out the door, down the hall, off the stage. Eyes closed, nothing but net.
Off the school bus, through the window, off the press box, off the eagle, nothing but net.
Up the stairs, off the wall, off the bleachers, nothing but net.
Whether it's dissection, observation, or just recording data.
The various laboratory experiments performed in JCHS science classes proved to be not only educational, but also a refreshing break from a routine of note-taking and lectures.
If you ever fall off the Sears Tower, just go limp because maybe you'll look like a dummy and people will try to catch you because, hey, free dummy.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will, but what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I let you love what I thought it was funny. You came along and moved me, honey. I've changed my mind, just look at something. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Kisses, baby. Feels good.
We're juniors, and one more year we'll be out of here. Looking forward to graduation.
You know, the one thing we're always going to remember about our junior year is the master keys.
What will you most look forward to about your senior year?
Serving as state historian for the future homemakers of America.
What do y'all look forward to most next year?
Getting out of school.
What do you look forward to most about next year?
Graduating and getting out of school.
What's the one thing that you always remember about your junior year?
This year I met Roger.
Working on prom.
Working on prom.
What's the one thing you'd like to forget about your junior year?
Football season. Losing place from the Apple Bowl.
Under the theme A Whole New World, Prom 93 was once again a huge success.
The junior class created a magical land of castles and genies, in which everyone was able to toss their cares and troubles out the window.
Casey Castle and Melissa Stapleton were crowned as this year's prom king and queen.
something wrong with the world today.
1992-93 was a year of dramatic change worldwide. The former Soviet Union, once a superpower and global influence, came crumbling down under the weight of its old communist bureaucracy. Emerging from the ruins, a loose federation of bickering republics. The question now, who's in charge of their nuclear weapons? UN peacekeeping forces were also called to other global hotspots. Bosnia, a former Soviet satellite country, profoundly felt the demise of the Soviet Union as war ravaged the countryside. In Somalia, anarchy caused mass starvation until UN forces restored peace and order in that country. The voice of the vote was heard as countries spanning the globe demanded change. The U.S. voted for a new breed of Democrat, while Canadians made history nominating the first woman prime minister. A human tragedy was mourned by an entire nation as the promise of heaven and earth went up in flames near Waco, Texas. The year's natural disasters were some of the costliest in history. Andrew, Aniki, and many others took their toll on life and property.
No one can truly know the potential that lies within the faces of Johnson Central.
We have a diversity in talent, from music to drama to academics to athletics, unmatched by any other school.
As summer approached, underclassmen were able to say, "See you next year," while for many seniors it was time to say goodbye.
In the midst of a blur of activity, from prom, final exams, and graduation, the senior class still found time to enjoy the last weeks of high school with a group of friends that will be remembered forever.
Got a little advice for the underclassmen. Get out while you still can. It's not worth it.
Hey, this is the illustration. 93 is the year, and we're all here to say, we're out of here! Oh.
The thing I always remember from my senior year is the day Miss Setzer wore two different shoes.
It's Tassin time! We're done! See ya!
The one thing I'll always remember about my senior year is Miss Chafin.
And the one thing I want to forget about my senior year is Miss Chafin.
The first thing we're going to do when we get out of high school, we're going to the beach.
Our advice to undergrads is do as little as you can to get by in high school.
The advice I would like to give to all underclassmen is to never argue with Miss Chafin because she's always right.
We just want to say goodbye from the triumvirate and her.
Our advice to Johnson Central is to stay away from the Mountain Dew.
What do you feel like right now knowing that it's just about over with?
I'll be sad 'cause I'm going to have to get a job and actually work and do something instead of laying around high school all day.
What are your plans after you graduate?
I'm going to Eastern to major in fashion merchandising.
Okay, now that this is finally the big day of the ceremonies, and it's here before 7:30, I feel like, I guess I'm all sweaty and palmy. And my hands are...
Although there was always a hint of sadness at graduation, the class of '93 felt relief at surpassing this milestone and an eagerness to conquer the next challenge.
The senior members of the JCHS Singing Eagles performed 2 heartwarming numbers in I'll Be There and Forever Friends.
And inspirational speeches were delivered by valedictorian Vanessa Adams, co-salutatorians Mike Stapleton and Bruce Conley, and 5th-ranked Regina Robinson.
And now that you're gone, I can't cry hard enough. No, I can't cry hard enough for you to hear me now. Gonna open my eyes and see for the first time I've let go of you like a child letting go of his kite. There it goes, up in the sky. There it goes, beyond the clouds, for no reason why. I can't cry hard enough. No, I can't cry hard enough for you to hear me now. Gonna look back in vain, see you standing there when all that remains is just an empty chair. And now that you're gone, I can't cry hard enough. No, I can't cry hard enough for you to hear